We are Hip Hop Fundamentals. Welcome to the 2025 Petey Greene Program Benefit. Let's go, make some noise.
As the CEO of the Petey Greene Program, I believe that success for people touched by our criminal legal systems require the right ingredients. At Petey Greene, we see this recipe for change every single day, and here's the recipe that I'm setting out for you. First, we need a heaping cup of education because knowledge opens doors and creates opportunity. Second, we need one jar of dignity because every person deserves to be seen, valued, and respected, both behind and beyond the walls of our prisons and jails. Third ingredient is one large container of opportunity, real chances for work, growth, and belonging as people travel through the justice system. Fourth, we need community because none of us succeed on our own. We rise together. And last, we need a whole mix of passion and purpose. At the Petey Greene Program, that is our recipe for success.
Please welcome to the stage your host for the evening and the Chief Executive Officer of the Petey Greene Program, Jeffrey Abramowitz.
Everybody, there you go. Welcome, everybody. I do not know how I could possibly follow that act. Another round for the dancers. They were awesome. Good evening, friends, colleagues, allies, and change makers. I'm so glad to be with you both here at Rivers Casino and also virtually to our virtual audience. Thanks for joining us online. 10 years ago this month, I never dreamed that it would be possible for me to stand here as the CEO of the nation's largest educational support organization. For those of you that know my story, it started with my own bad choices as a lawyer, which led to an indictment and federal incarceration. While out of work, before pleading guilty, it was the culinary field that provided me with an opportunity to survive. Panera Bread trained me and hired me as a master baker, which inspired me to open my own bakery and ice cream store. Tonight, however, it's not about me. This is our third annual Going Greene event, and it's much more about festivities this evening. And for the past 7 days, we've been doing programming across the region, across the country, around food insecurity, around nutrition, and opportunities for the culinary field for those impacted by our criminal legal systems. Over the past week, we've hosted a justice education series titled Chew on This, which looked at food nutrition in our prisons and jails. We hosted a CEO convening at Eastern State Penitentiary here in Philadelphia on fair chance hiring, and we heard from Marcus Hall at Philadelphia Works. We heard from Kevin Hart, who's here today, the Hart table right there in the center, from Heart of Catering, and from our very own Roberto Gonzalez, who was in fact a Petey Greene student inside the walls before we gobbled him up and brought him to the Petey Greene family. And last but not least, today, in partnership with the Philadelphia Office of Reentry Partnerships, we hosted a reentry meet and greet for people interested in working in the culinary field. I don't know how many people there, but there were a lot of people that filled that room today. And they were all students meeting with employers in the Philadelphia region and thinking about what the opportunities might be like for them in the culinary field. So a lot has happened over the last week. I want to pause here and mention that none of this could possibly happen without you, without our students, without our tutors, without our volunteers, without our staff, our donors, and without the community that supports the Petey Greene program, not just in Philadelphia, but in all the regions that we work across the country. Tonight, I am absolutely thrilled to introduce and to recognize our 2025 Community Leadership Awardee, Chef Brandon Chrostowski. We're going to talk to Brandon in a little while, but Brandon's the founder of EDWINS Leadership Restaurant and Institute, a chef whose work is justice in action. As you'll see later tonight, Brandon shows us what radical compassion and transformation can achieve. I want to set the stage because this year's theme is about food, and not just food itself, but food insecurity. It's about nutrition and the opportunities that food and hospitality create for people both behind and beyond the walls of our prisons and jails in our country. These are not abstract issues. They're urgent. They're about health. They're about dignity, and they're about justice. When someone is incarcerated, they lose their freedom, yes, but they also lose access to safe, nourishing, culturally meaningful food. Their pathways to work and stability get disrupted, and when they come home, the challenges don't stop, they multiply. So tonight, I'm inviting you into our special kitchen. Imagine we're opening the world's finest educational restaurant with a menu full of recipes for change. In kitchens all around the world, when a chef gives a call to staff, the staff respond, "Yes, chef." So tonight, I want to invite all of you to give me a yes, chef. So throughout the night, I'm going to be cueing you throughout this talk and asking you from time to time to give us a yes, chef. There you go. As the head chef of the Petey Greene Program and the Puckhammer Center for Educational Justice and Equity, I know my menu only works because of the people and the talent and skill and passion that bring it to life. Our restaurant runs because of our team, our board of directors, led by Peter Gates, and that keeps education in front and center. Can I get a yes, chef, for our board of directors? Some of you are here in the room tonight. Our leadership chefs, Emma Sindelar, our executive director of business development and strategy. They're the ones that steer operations and keep our business flowing throughout the Petey Greene organization nationally. Can I get a yes, chef, for them? Yeah, there you go. We're so proud of the Puckhammer Center, led by Chiara Benetolo, barely a year old, already pushing innovation, evaluation, and support for justice-impacted students across the country. She needs a yes, chef. Our staff, passionate, skilled, dedicated, are the ones who make the machine run, touching lives of every student in our facilities, our classrooms, and every learner we meet online. The Petey Greene Program is now the largest educational support organization in the country, using one-on-one tutoring to make change happen. Education is our most important ingredient. It helps people read, write, earn a high school diploma, learn the English language, secure a career credential, attend and complete college, and obtain essential digital skills. The impact is profound. We've touched over 20,000 students. We're blessed with over 8,500 volunteer placements and in over 135 programming sites. I'd like to ask now that our entire Petey Greene family, both those that are current and those that are about to take their positions in the coming week, to please rise, and we need to give these people a huge yes, chef. Rise up, everybody. Any of our Petey Greene staff. And of course, we cannot do this without our partners. From inside more than 60 correctional institutions, government agencies, adult literacy agencies, reentry partners, and numerous community organizations and others who join us in this work. It's because of you that we thrive, and because no great restaurant rises alone. A special thanks to our sponsors that have made tonight possible, including Center City Film and Video, who are doing the great production tonight, Rivers Casino, Hart Catering, and Kevin Hart Catering and the Hart Catering, amazing. Open Hearts Cafe is the name of their cafe, and you need to go, if you haven't been there yet, you need to get there. The Office of Reentry Partnerships in Philadelphia, Eastern State, where we did our CEO convening. If you've not been to Eastern State Penitentiary, you need to go there. Explorer, the prison education program, and I know Dr. Johnson's in the house, and special thanks to you for all the work that you guys do in working with us. Ocean First Bank, Phil Abundance, Uplift Solutions, where we had our program today. Thank you. Digital X Health, we have a whole team from Digital X Health here, and I'll shout out to Digital X Health because, you know, these are people that are working to make sure that nutrition and that healthcare are front and center for those people, not only behind the walls, but as they come home. And it's such a key component of the reentry process and the criminal justice process. Thank you for all that you guys are doing. And then Ward Law, which is a law firm here in the city of Philadelphia. Thank you guys all for your support tonight and for helping make this event happen. This recipe isn't complete without our passionate and talented volunteer tutors from across the country. So if you're watching remotely or if you're in the room, your support, your engagement, your willingness to give back to those in need is nothing short of remarkable. You are and will always be the secret sauce of one of our most important ingredients at the Petey Greene Program, and that deserves a huge yes, chef. Outside the doors of this restaurant that we've created tonight are thousands of students. They're hungry for knowledge. They're ready to sit at the table and taste every dish. Some of them are here tonight, including many of our staff that have navigated their way from being students in the Petey Greene Program behind the walls to now sharing their passions and purpose with others as our Petey Greene employees. Roberto Gonzalez, I'm giving you a shout out because new employee hired, recently started the Petey Greene Program. Thank you, Roberto, for joining our team. So now what are we cooking tonight? Here's what we're cooking. We're cooking a tablespoon of dignity, because every person deserves food and nourishes the body, mind, and spirit. We got a cup of awareness, because poor nutrition causes disease, suffering, and costs inside and out of facilities. A blend of dignity and opportunity, which allows access to food, training, and work that leads to transformation and safer communities. We're given a boatload of justice, food, and employment, our foundations of stability. Without them, cycles of poverty and punishment keep going. And a full pound of moral leadership. How we treat incarcerated people and returning citizens measure who we are as a society. And now the recipes that work. The holistic programs like EDWINS, you're going to hear more about, combining training, housing, legal aid, and healthcare. Fair chance hiring and food hospitality, farm and food justice partnerships to bring fresh produce into facilities and build skills. Community support systems, pantries, meal programs, and advocacy and policy forum for nutrition standards and oversight in correctional food programs. Tonight, we're honoring Chef Brandon Chrostowski, recent James Beard Award winner. You'll meet him personally in a few minutes, but you should know that Brandon's work with EDWINS proves what's possible. EDWINS doesn't just teach people to cook. It teaches pride, confidence, and vision. It gives students housing, clothing, legal help, education, and the essentials that allow them to succeed. You've shown us that food can be more than a meal. It can be a doorway to dignity, to community, to hope. And because of you, that doorway is wide open. Ralph Waldo Petey Greene challenged us to see humanity in forgotten places, to tell the truth, to lift voices. Tonight in his spirit, let's commit to dignity in every person, to justice that feeds both body and soul, to building systems where no one is left hungry, unseen, or unused. I want to thank you all for being here tonight and I hope that you'll enjoy the rest of the program as we proceed forward. Together, let's cook up a better future. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage the Petey Greene Program DC team, Leslie Lewis and Raymond Rodriguez.
Good evening, everyone, and greetings. My name is Leslie Lewis, and I am the Regional Manager of the Petey Greene Program in DC. I am thrilled to be joining you tonight in Philadelphia to be part of presenting this year's Jim Farron Volunteer Award. PGP volunteers, play a critical role in our mission. Through their work with us, they not only provide academic support to students, but also approach the tutoring relationship with care and collaboration, meeting and nurturing the skills and talents of students on an equal footing. This award recognizes an extraordinary Petey Greene Program volunteer who models the values of human-centered, compassionate service, as well as the leadership skills and ongoing commitment to criminal justice reform that are key to the success of our most effective tutors. For this award, we invited staff from all our regions to nominate exceptional volunteers from all of our regions. This year's honoree is teaming with the kind of passion that some lucky volunteers discover as they incorporate their PGP training into their career. And now it is with great esteem that I welcome my colleague, Ray Rodriguez, to introduce this year's recipient of the Jim Farron Volunteer Award. Ray?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Raymond Rodriguez, and I'm the DC Division Manager for the Petey Greene Program. I'm honored to present this year's James S. Farron Volunteer Award to Anaga Krishnan. I nominated Anaga because she exemplifies what it means to go above and beyond. Since joining PGP as a tutor at the DC Youth Services Center in 2021, Anaga hasn't just met expectations. She's transformed what's possible. In addition to her exceptional PGP volunteer service, Anaga is co-founder of STEM Bombard, the first ever hands-on science demonstration series at the Youth Services Center in Washington, D.C. This year alone, STEM Bombard offered high school age students, many of whom have never conducted an experiment before, the opportunity to participate in 20 live science demonstrations. STEM Bombard represents both the expertise in public health that Anaga brings to her service with the PGP, but also the way that working with the PGP will continue to influence her career as she pursues her degree in medicine at Johns Hopkins this fall. But what truly sets Anaga apart is how she centers dignity, education, and empowerment in everything that she does. She understands that sustained, thoughtful service and relationship building are powerful tools for creating more just outcomes for system-impacted communities. Anaga doesn't just serve our students. She elevates our entire program and shows us what's possible when passion meets purpose. Please join me in congratulating this year's James S. Farron Volunteer Award recipient, Anaga Krishnan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aniga Krishnan, and I am profoundly honored to receive the Jim Farron Volunteer of the Year Award today. My experience with the Petey Greene program started just about 4 years ago at the start of my journey as a computational biology graduate student in Washington, D.C. After long hours in the lab, I often felt isolated from the individuals and communities that I hoped that my research would one day serve. So I started looking for ways to get more directly involved in my community, and I was incredibly fortunate to come across the Petey Greene program. Through the PGP, I began volunteering as a tutor at a youth carceral facility in Washington, D.C. As a volunteer with a background in STEM, I often worked with students in their math and science courses. I fondly recall an experience I had with a student named Michael, who, as I was explaining the structure of DNA, asked me, well, how do we know that DNA is real if it's so small that we can't see it? I love that question because the skepticism that Michael showed is at the very core of scientific discovery. We have to see it to believe it. I realized that Michael and many of the other incarcerated students that I worked with had not had the opportunity to learn science the way that scientists do, by discovering knowledge in a hands-on way. Determined to bring these opportunities to students, I partnered with the Petey Greene program to do the first ever hands-on science demonstration at the facility, extracting DNA from strawberries. It was so inspiring to see Michael and his fellow students walking around holding DNA that they had extracted on popsicle sticks, commenting that the DNA looked just like snot. I'd say we convinced Michael. Since then, thanks to the support of the PGP, including many individuals who are in this room right now, my co-founder, Hannah Dada, and a lot of behind-the-scenes support from my fiance, James Irwin, we turned this single demo into a program, STEM and BARD, that's provided over 40 hands-on science demonstrations to over 300 incarcerated learners in Washington, D.C. Oh, thank you. Hands-on science experiences are why I pursued a career in STEM, and I'm so honored to share some of those same formative experiences with young incarcerated learners in DC, and hopefully soon to many other cities as well. 4 years ago, when I asked the Petey Greene program if we could bring complex science materials into secure carceral facilities, I fully expected the answer to be no. But what I've learned over the past years is that if the goal is bringing transformative educational experiences to incarcerated and formerly incarcerated learners, the answer from the Petey Greene program is always yes. Volunteering with the PGP has been one of the most transformative experiences of my life, and I look forward to continuing to grow STEM and BARD over the years to come. Thank you.
And now you're in for a real treat. I want to spend some time with our guests tonight and introduce the 2025 Community Leadership Awardee, Brandon Chrostowski.
This is going to be the most anticipated restaurant opening Cleveland's seen. And it happens today in about 10 minutes. All right, are we ready? There's like anticipation. You can feel it. It's like palpable.
Give me the Mackenzie, please.
Hey, hot. Coming through. Coming behind you, hot. Coming behind you, hot.
Have a seat, Brandon. Come on up, grab a seat. Yep. So I have to say, we started our visit off recently with a wonderful meal last night, and it was at a restaurant in Philadelphia that served Lebanese food. And I sat there and I dreamed last night about everything that you selected for us to eat and that we ate in the restaurant, which is amazing. Thank you for being here. And I was wondering, Chef, to kick us off tonight, you have a lot of people in the audience that hopefully haven't had a chance to go to EDWINS yet, but are curious about what inspired you to dedicate your culinary talent and leadership to building EDWINS and creating the opportunities that you have for people that are justice impacted.
Yeah,
Kick us off.
I'll do it. How's everyone doing? All right? You know, I'm a big Lions fan, so I'm looking at this Eagles jersey. It's just I'm feeling some sort of way. But listen, this is thanks for dinner last night. First of all, beautiful. EDWINS, for people who don't know what it is, you know, it's this idea of hope and a way to achieve it through culinary arts and hospitality. It's a French fine dining restaurant. You know, for 6 months, people go through and learn every aspect of it, along with business basics. And you know, we also have a bakery and butcher shop that people will learn in as well. So what started it all? You know, I was in and out of jails when I was younger. Fortunately, never had to do hard sentence, but it taught me enough to know that, you know, when life strips the humanity away from you, it's a pretty bad place. You know, it's a pretty lonely place. And I was able to, you know, get out on probation, find a chef who mentored me and taught me a very simple thing. He said, Brandon, it's not practice that makes perfect. It's perfect practice that makes perfect. And little by little, he would teach me the fundamentals of the French cuisine. And man, it was beautiful. Like, it just resonated with me. I would go home and read about it. I would go home and just, research about it. And really, that was a turning point with understanding that if you have a mentor, you can go anywhere in the world. And I literally went everywhere in the world.
You did. It's amazing. I had the opportunity to go to EDWINS, the restaurant, but it isn't just, it's not just a training program. EDWINS is housing, legal services, life skills, and community. And I'm curious why it was important for you to create such a holistic model on how that changed. What are the outcomes from all this? What are you seeing happening to those people that are touched by EDWINS?
Yeah, you know, I mean, the whole idea was just to build the best French restaurant in the world, right? And having worked in the best in Paris and New York, I mean, I knew what I was up against, right? But just having a restaurant is kind of simple, right? To provide all the other services and give it to people with zero experience was really the degree of difficulty and the challenge I wanted to take on. But you know, going through this whole thing, I mean, how many of you have plans in life? Do you have plans? I mean, like, some of you have plans, but come on, like, you know, you want to get married and you find someone to get married to. Then you say you want to do something with them, like, you know, but it doesn't exactly go as planned, right? So the whole plan for EDWINS and these services that we provide were just built out of need. You know, just like you in a relationship, if you find someone that, I don't know, maybe has a hard time with something, you're going to find a way to make it easier for them, right? And that's all that we're doing at EDWINS. Like, this thing is not brain surgery. You know, I barely graduated high school. I'm a hard-working Polak. You know what I mean? And that's like the bottom line, dude. I bury my head and I just work. And I know that we can get somewhere. I know that you can get wherever you want to get in life. So the plans for EDWINS, as the housing became a thing, and then childcare happened, and working in juvenile corrections, and working across the country on these tablets. All this was based out of just the voices of those we serve, and just putting my head down and the team's head down to get that goal accomplished. So there was a plan to make it like a pretty big thing, but you never know what it is until you get into that moment.
I love it. So I want to cue the next slide if you can, because there's one after this.
It's a good looking guy.
There you go, good looking guy. So I don't know if you can see this behind me, but this, I had the chance to go to EDWINS in Cleveland several years ago, and we had dinner. We have some kids that live in Cleveland, and one of the things that happened was we ordered Bananas Foster, and
Yeah.
this gentleman came out and made us Bananas Foster. It was the best Bananas Foster I think I've ever eaten, but that wasn't what was so memorable. This is a picture because he got done making Bananas Foster that night, and he had this smile on his face as if he had just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing thing. And I wish that I could recreate that for every single student that is touched by the Petey Greene program. And I was wondering if you might be able to share a success story that sticks out in your mind of people that have been touched by EDWINS and your work.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton, right? I mean, there's a lot. But listen, I got to tell you a Banana Foster story real quick. So, like people are working at EDWINS, they come they'll be coming right out of the joint. And we don't have like this like runway for you to learn how to do something. You literally just we start working. So it happens really fast how people pick up on things, or, we're pretty good at, curbing some of the errors. But we had this one guy, man, he was making Banana Foster. And has anyone lit liquor on fire? It will follow the liquor, it's like a Hollywood movie. You can draw a line with it and it follows it. And some guy was making Banana Foster one night, it followed it right back in. And I was across the dining room, where that nasty jersey is. And all I heard was noise. It went, and I was like, what the fuck? I look over, it goes, poof, everywhere.
Oh, no.
The liquor went everywhere. I never laughed. I was like, oh my gosh, so embarrassing. Nobody got hurt, fortunately. But Banana Foster, you think it was a very pleasant, harmonious, friendly dish. It got really, furious that night. Yeah.
I love it.
That was pretty cool. But that was not one of the success stories. Success stories include so many things, right? You're dealing with, anyone that goes into a different environment, whether it be a foreign country, a different work culture, a different setting. It could be across the street. You're not familiar with that, like what's going on. It's just uncomfortable, and every day that someone comes in and steps into a place where you're dealing with like some pretty high maintenance people whose biggest problem might be like what cup to order online that they can drink their coffee out of. And it's like a totally weird world, and I'm still uncomfortable in it. And I'm really proud each day when someone comes in, they show up, they jump into something they never knew, they work with people they don't know, and they succeed. So that's like a success story every day, every night, every person. Some of the larger ones, people went on to open their own restaurant, and they're killing it, they're crushing it. Perhaps like my most favorite, like we now have kids. Like, see, when I started EDWINS, I had this idea when I was 24. I'm 45. Okay, I didn't get married till I was like 36 or whatever. And so you have to understand, most of this EDWINS career, I was a single guy just swinging and just like, hitting it, right? And when I came across people who had kids, I didn't quite understand the power of what it means to have a child until you have a child. One woman, she gave birth in prison, and this is probably after we had 3 kids. We have 5 now. She gave birth in prison. She got released. She comes to our program. She eventually gets clean. She graduates, gets a job, gets kid back. And I don't care how many fucking Michelin stars someone has. That right there is like the best story in the world. And that person's still doing successfully. They still have their child. They're clean. And to me, if we can duplicate that again and again, we've won it all.
I love it. I love it. That deserves a yes, chef. As a recent James Beard Award winner and leader in this movement, what do you hope, the broader hope for the hospitality industry sector, and for all of us here tonight, what do you hope we'll do to open more doors for people that are justice impacted?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. You said these are softball questions.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's just like in our industry, sometimes we just got to get our heads out of our ass and realize, although we're doing great food, it's just food. You know what I mean? Like, I cooked for Jacques Pepin recently. We're close. Working around some of the giants that have been doing this for a long time, you get to realize that food is just food, right? And you don't have to be so crazy. Believe me, I was. It took me a while to learn this. But the power of food is in what it can do for our society and for those who are trying to get up a ladder in life. So whether that be a ladder of education, whether that be a ladder of income, whether that be a ladder of experience, that's our job as chefs. And I think our responsibility has been, become great chef, run great restaurants, scream and yell, run great restaurants, and it's like, this is kind of like trajectory. And like, when does it end? It's like this like circle, right? And I just hope that our industry starts to come off that and starts to say, our responsibility is to use food as a vessel for change. Now, whether it's helping someone coming out of a just impacted environment, or whether it's helping a veteran, or whether it's helping my neighbor who's got no problems, but they're going through a tough time in life. Jeff, restaurants are they're like little states. So like, if you can imagine a restaurant, it's got like its own government. You know what I mean? It's like kind of governs itself. We're a refuge for refugees. We're a bank when someone needs a small loan. We're the soup kitchen when the neighborhood needs it. Like, restaurants are so much more if you look at it that way. But when you look at it as just like this income generator, manage your margins, give me 3% less on food costs, go, go, go. I think we need to get more in the direction of serving.
I love it. I love it. Yes, Jeff. So before we wrap, I have three I'll call them lightning round questions for you.
Yes, great.
The first one is, what's one dish that best represents EDWINS and why?
One dish or like
Yeah.
one ingredient?
You can go either.
I do. It's like hollandaise sauce, man. Sometimes the shit just breaks,
Hollandaise. Oh, there you go.
But listen, if you know the right technique, you can always bring it back together. You know what I mean? You get some new yolks in there. You get, then you just re-emulsify what you broke, and it's sometimes even better than before. So I think like hollandaise is good, and it's so sensitive. I mean, it's like you just do something. You have to have a lot of confidence when you make it.
I love it. So interesting. I asked Brandon at dinner last night. I said, what do you think of the Food Network, and what shows do you watch? And he says, I don't know. I don't own a TV. They don't watch TV in your house at all for you or your kids. And it was good to hear, because you really you're not shaded by anything you see on TV or any of the chefs that are out there doing that work. But when I'm curious, when your students graduate, what's the first thing you hope that they feel?
Human.
Human. Awesome.
I know.
Every chef and restaurateur in the country if they could do just one thing tomorrow to support returning citizens, what should it be?
It would be to just let your guard down and be a little more vulnerable. And sometimes it takes a lot. As a chef, we're very demonstrative. I was a plate thrower too, early days, because that's how I came up. But I think it's just to be a little more vulnerable, a little bit open to the fact that, hey, look, anyone can do your job, if you train them properly. And I don't think chefs are ready to accept that. They say, you got to go through this much warfare. You have to do, suffer. You have to do this. No, you don't. You can give someone the ball, show them how to shoot it. And you know what? They're going to start making shots.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Brandon, you've been a good friend over the past few years since I've known you. And just want to give you a huge congratulations on the James Beard Award and all the great work you're doing at EDWINS. And congratulations on being our awardee this year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. There you go. Here you go.
Thanks, man.
It's yours, man.
Thank you. Good picture right here.
Tied up.
Please welcome to the stage Petey Greene Program's Audrey Wilson, Division Manager of Petey Greene, New Jersey, and Margie Wilcox, Director of Regions.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Margie Wilcox. I'm the Director of Regions here at the Petey Greene Program. Tonight, I have the great honor of sharing with you the first ever PGP Education Excellence Award and Scholarship. Our students are at the center of the Petey Greene Program's mission, and their achievements are what inspire us as staff, tutors, and donors to invest in this work. Students put an astounding effort to realize their educational goals on their way to achieving their dreams, honoring their loved ones, and giving back to their communities. The Petey Greene Program's Educational Excellence Award and Scholarship embodies our commitment and gratitude to our students for their remarkable accomplishments. This award honors an outstanding Petey Greene Program student who demonstrates a commitment to holistic, personal, and academic development and advances a culture of educational justice and inclusion within their local community of PGP students and volunteers. For this inaugural award, we invited staff from all of our regions to nominate exceptional students. We are thrilled to be able to recognize a student from our New Jersey region and to support their ongoing educational journey with a scholarship. My colleague Audrey Wilson will share more about what makes this student exceptional.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Audrey Wilson. I'm the New Jersey Division Manager for the Petey Greene Program, and I'm honored to present this year's Educational Excellence Award and Scholarship to Starling Admonson. As you just heard, the PGP Excellence Award recognizes an outstanding student who demonstrates commitment to personal and academic development while advancing a culture of educational justice and inclusion within their community. This award includes a $250 scholarship to support their ongoing educational journey. I nominated Starling because his story exemplifies resilience, wisdom, and dedication. As a member of the Rutgers Newark Mountain View community, a program that supports formerly incarcerated individuals pursuing college degrees, Starling faced the dual challenge of reentry and rigorous academics. When he first reached out to PGP for calculus tutoring in fall 2024, Starling made the difficult but wise decision to step back from class to prioritize his wellness so he could succeed in the future. That wisdom paid off. He reached out again in 2025 in the spring, engaged fully with his tutor, and successfully passed his calculus course. But what truly sets Starling apart is how he embodies educational justice. In a society that devalues the formerly incarcerated individual, Starling chose the harder path, pursuing a degree despite stigma, encouraging fellow Mountain View students to keep moving forward, and demonstrating that education is a pathway to transformation. Starling shows us that commitment to education isn't just about perfect attendance. It's about making thoughtful decisions, seeking help when needed, and lifting up your community along the way. Please join me in congratulating Starling, this year's recipient of the PGP Excellence Award and Scholarship.
Hi everybody, how's everybody doing? So I'm a bit nervous, pretty good. Sure you guys can hear this, so just gonna, thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, so I wrote a short speech. I want to take a moment to thank the Most High for all. I want to give my deepest gratitudes out to the Petey Greene Program and to Audrey for supporting me through some of my most transformative times and my most challenging times. The weight that the Petey Greene Program has helped me carry is tremendous. From inside incarcerated spaces to my journey at Rutgers University, PGP has been there for me every step of the way. It's true that moving alone may be faster, but if we want to go far, we must move together. That's what PGP represents, a family of movers who support each other, both behind the wall and in the free world. It's easy to say you'll make a difference, but PGP puts words into actions by entering spaces that require courage, heart, and tenacity. They know the importance of making a real impact, and they never give up. I want to speak on behalf of those who cannot speak from behind the walls and within incarcerated spaces. We not only thank you, but we need you. We need you to help us make it clear that we need you to make it clear that we are not lost causes. We are individuals who sometimes need a little more encouragement and support to get started on our truthful path and on our fruitful path. I want to say thank you, Petey Greene Program, and Audrey for everything that you've done for me. This is more than I could have ever imagined, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations. And now it's my honor to call to the stage our Executive Director of Business Development and Strategy, and my colleague, Colette Johnson.
Congratulations again to our awardees, and thank you to everyone here for joining us this evening. I'm Colette Johnson, Executive Director of Business Development and Strategy. I want to make one more special thank you tonight, and that's to the person next to me, Jeff Abramowitz, the PGP CEO. Jeff, your dedicated leadership and passionate belief in our mission have guided the PGP to make 2025 such a great and amazing year. Despite the challenges and uncertainty that have affected the entire sector, the PGP's mission has stayed clear. We prioritize our students and our volunteers to provide high-quality, caring educational support. Even when times get hard, we show up so that our students and volunteers feel seen, heard, and supported in their drive to better themselves. Tonight, we celebrate our incredible students and volunteers like Anaga and Starlin, whose stories illuminate the profound impact that our tutors and students have on each other. There's more work ahead. We're raising funding to expand STEM Unbarred, as well as to bring the PGP to new regions across the country. It's more important than ever that before tonight is over, you find the sheet on your table. Every table has a sheet with real student goals from the PGP demonstrating the incredible diversity and passion that our students have. And on those sheets on your table is a QR code. And for those guests joining us virtually, that you head over to the PGP's website to make a donation. Your donation is critical to making our work possible. Please consider a gift to support our mission and educational justice. Thank you so much. And Jeff, back to you.
Thanks. Thank you. So we have one more exciting thing to do before we close out tonight. And we are going to invite up someone that's going to be getting everyone in this room active in tonight's events. There are a few people that, before I bring him up, that I do need to thank and to call out. One is I don't ever know that there's ever been a James Beard Award winner and a Pulitzer Prize winner in the same room at the same time at a particular event. But I want to call out a good friend, Suave Gonzalez, who won the Pulitzer Prize this year. And Suave has not only been a great friend, but in the back of the room, some of his paintings have been donated tonight. And if you want to get something that I have to believe are going to be worth unbelievable amounts of money at some point in time, I was in Washington, D.C. last week with Suave at a dinner and had an opportunity to go to the Smithsonian Institute where one of Suave's paintings is now being displayed. Congratulations, my friend. So we're going to get into some fun with some auctioning of some items that are coming up. And I think we're going to do that before we close out, correct? Awesome. So I want to bring up an auctioneer, and he's going to walk us through some really fun activity for the next few minutes. Bring it on.
Thank you, Jeff. Let's hear it for Jeff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to be able